Welcome to Ask and Learn.
So they want us to show that for the tournament sort, we're going to have big O of n log n comparisons. So from number 16, we already know to find our largest element, we're going to have n minus 1 or 2 to the k minus 1 comparisons if n, the number of elements we're sorting, is 2 to the k. And then we found for each smaller element after this, for our comparison sort, it's just going to be k minus 1 sorts up to the n minus 1 largest element. And then we don't need to sort that last element because all the other ones are sorted. We just assume it's the last one. So let's see if we can actually show that this will be that. Well, from that first part, we know it's just going to be n minus 1. And then after this, we would need to have, so let's see, well, it's going to be k minus 1 plus k minus 1 plus dot 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 all the way up to k minus 1. And we need to do this, well, let's see. We would start with this being our second, third, and all the way up to n minus 1. So we could actually rewrite this as the sum being, so sum from I is equal to 2 just to n minus 1, like that, of k minus 1. All right, and now, since k minus 1 doesn't depend on what we have for I, that means this is just going to be n minus 1 plus k minus 1 times. So we would do n minus 1, and then we subtract off that bottom one, and then we add 1 to that. So those ones cancel out. I'm just going to have n minus 2 there. So we have n minus 1 plus k minus 1, n minus 2. Now we can go ahead and expand that over there. So it's n minus 1 plus kn minus 2k minus n plus 2. And then notice that these n's cancel out with each other. And then we can go ahead and simplify this down a little bit. So let's first factor out that k. So that's going to be k times n minus 2. And then 2 minus 1, well, that's just going to be positive 1. Well, now k we can rewrite, because notice we said that n is equal to 2 to the k. Well, if we take log base 2 on each side, that's going to give us that log base 2 of n is equal to k. All right, and so then we can go ahead and plug that in for here. So log base 2 of n minus 2 plus 1. And then lastly, if we were to go ahead and do this, well, that n minus 2 is the same thing as n, and adding a constant doesn't really change anything. So this would just be n times log base 2 of n. So that's how we can go ahead and show this. So if you haven't shown 16 and 17, or at least watch those videos, I would go ahead and do that. Or you could just go ahead and prove 16 and 17 and then follow the same kind of steps that we did here.